education is to begin with what the student already knows. Since kindergartners enter school with a speaking vocabulary of over 2,000 words, the New Orleans public schools use that vocabulary in a revolutionary computer-assisted approach called Writing to Read to teach students to develop complex communication skills. Writing to Read is one more reason why the New Orleans public schools deserve your support.
New Orleans Public Schools, we're working now for the future.
If you're looking for sports coverage that won't put you to sleep, if you want to know who's pulling ahead and who's trailing behind, then pick up a copy of the Times-Picayune. We'll tell you who's on their way up and who's on their way down. Whatever the season, whatever the sport, the Times-Picayune always brings it home to you. The Times-Picayune. When it comes to sports, it's always the last word.
The sport is ice boating, and at speeds up to 60 miles an hour and temperatures down to 30 below. You don't take chances, you take chapstick. Chapstick is heavy-duty lip balm, made to help lips stop chapping and start healing. Don't take chances, take chapstick.
When you see the angle is on. Chapstick got the angle.
You've got Plus Chapstick Petroleum Jelly Plus with a special angle tip.
Chapstick got the angle.
You've got the Plus.
The car world zeroes in on New Orleans and the 1989 International Auto Show and Sale. 400 cars and trucks on sale at the lowest prices of the year at the New Orleans Convention Center, February 17 to 19.
This is WVUE, the station that's making good things happen.
George Ryan, Lionel Bienvenu, and meteorologist Ken O'Quinn. Live, this is News 8 New Orleans.
I just came from the clerk of court's office, Miss Perry, and I have an announcement to make. We won!
Possibly one of the most highly publicized state house races in recent history is over tonight. And David Ernest Duke has captured a House seat and the nation's attention. Good evening, everyone. I'm George Ryan. Here's what's happening. Complete but unofficial results in the House District 81 race are in, and here is how the numbers add up. David Duke, 51% of the vote. He won. That's 84-56 as far as the numbers are concerned. And John Treen, 49% of the vote with 82-32. We begin our team coverage of the race with the victory celebration at Duke Party headquarters. News 8's Joe Giardina is in Metairie tonight. We have a Live 8 unit there now. Joe, is there any surprise among the supporters there?
Well, I think the people were surprised the fact that they thought they were going to win by a lot more than what they won by. Only 51%. They were expecting as much as 65% at one point. We must tell you that there are reporters from all over the country, in fact, from Germany, from Canada, and everyone's been trying to squeeze in to get a quick interview. And let me see if I can squeeze my way in. He's been doing interviews for the past couple of minutes. Let me hear what he has to say.
The people have spoken, and I'm just very happy to be here, and I really love and respect the people of Metairie. Thank you so much, everybody.
Okay, thank you, David Duke. David, what do you want to tell you? A lot of the black community. Let's move over here to Channel 6 as well. We'll play fair.
Okay.
Let's go back right here. The situation is you said you want to be a candidate for all the people.
Yes.
That means blacks as well. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
What do you want to tell the black voters out there that are very concerned about, let's be honest, they're very scared out there. That's the feeling we get.
Well, when I say I believe in equal rights for everybody, I really mean it. And I want black people to have a better right. And I really believe a life. I think I'm going to help the black community a great deal because I'm offering programs to break the chains of poverty and the problems we've had in the black community. I've got some concrete programs. I want workfare. Let's return the dignity of those who want to work and contribute.
Let me answer this. What is your message to President Reagan and also to Mr. Romer?
Well, I respect President Reagan, but as far as Mr. Bush is concerned, no new taxes. Read my lips. As far as Mr. Romer is concerned, Buddy Romer, read my lips. The people of this state, the people of my district do not want tax increases. We want spending reform, not increased revenue.
Obviously, Mr. Duke, the president's support, the former president's support did cut down on your margin of victory because you told us a while ago that you expected 55, 56, 57.
Well, I think something like that would happen. It's the first time a president's got involved in a race like this. But the main thing is we won. The people have spoken, and that's how a democracy is supposed to work. And And I'm glad that the people made the final decision. Not the political bosses, not the machines, not the media, the people of our district. I'm thankful to them. I love them to death.
One final question.
Yes.
Looking at the situation when you go to the state legislature, are you concerned that perhaps they will not seat you?
I'm sure they'll seat me. I won the vote. I'm entitled to my seat. And obviously they're going to seat me. I'm the people's choice, and that's how a democracy is supposed to work.
Okay, thank you very much. There you go, David Duke. Congratulations. He won himself his House seat by 51%. He thought he was going to get 54, 55, 56, but he did not. But a very victorious situation here at Duke headquarters. We'll be back a little later on. This is Joe Giordino reporting live from Duke headquarters.
Okay, Joe, thank you very much. We continue our team coverage of tonight's runoff election with reaction from losing candidate John Treen. Tonight's loss not only affects Treen, but it will also impact party politics for state Republicans. We have a Live 8 unit at Treen Party headquarters, along with News 8's Robin Eckings. Robin, I can imagine the feeling there tonight is rather dour.
Well, George, a very subdued mood here at the Treen campaign headquarters. About 9 o'clock, John Treen did concede this election. Some of the things he said is that the voters were misled and conned by a master of deception in this race. Also that Duke played upon the fears of the people in District 81, and here are a few of the comments that John Treen gave us after those remarks.
Campaign of racism and bigotry, and I think that some people are, and he also claimed to have solutions to the problem of welfareism when he doesn't. I'd rather lose by 2,000 than 200, and then I could say, gee, there's nothing I could have done. I'll spend the next week now thinking of all the things I should have done to turn 100 votes around.
Also a lot of tears here tonight from John Treen and John Treen's brother, former Governor Dave Treen, who is here with me now. Governor, you helped your brother a lot, went door to door, attempted to help him. What went wrong? It was so close. What happened?
Well, you're talking about less than 250 votes separating the two candidates, so this is certainly not a mandate for David Duke. I think one of the issues, Robin, though, that's been overlooked in this campaign, both locally and by the national media, is the tax issue. I think the people of Metairie, Louisiana, this particular district, are very strong for not tampering with the homestead exemption.
John Treen had been asked to change his position on that, but he wouldn't, and he could have won if he had done that, if he had said no tampering with the homestead exemption.
Absolutely, Robin. I discussed this with him at the outset of this campaign. I said all the other candidates, John, are taking a position of absolute no compromise on lowering the tax exemption. He said, look, he said, I am for letting the people decide if a package is produced that would indicate or that could give us hope that Louisiana could produce more jobs, then I would let the people decide.
What does this do now to the Republican Party with a former KKK member representing Republicans in the Louisiana State Legislature when the party has tried so hard to recruit minorities and become the party of all people?
Well, Robin, you have to recognize, and I hope the people of the state recognize, this man just changed his registration from Democrat. He ran for president a few months ago as a Democrat. He changed to Republican a few days before this election, doesn't even live in the district, chose a district he thought he could win in, changed his party affiliation to Republican and ran. So I don't think the Republican Party as such has to take responsibility for David Duke, and we do not.
Thank you very much. Former Governor Dave Treen, a lot of people here disavowing David Duke, vowing to fight him, continue to fight him if he intends to achieve any higher office. I may also add that a group of Treen's and Duke's opponents in the primary who filed suit against David Duke, challenging his qualifications to run in this district, will meet tomorrow to consider filing suit against David Duke to challenge his qualifications to run in District 81, so we'll keep an eye on that. Reporting live from Treen Campaign Headquarters, I'm Robin Eckings.
All right, Robin, thank you. You answered my question. We're here now to analyze the race and its ramifications is local political expert Silas Lee. Silas, you heard the governor talking about it. It's very, very difficult now for the Republican Party, I would suspect, to sell this kinder, gentler nation stuff here, at least in the South.
It makes it very difficult. Duke is perceived as the stepchild of the Republican Party, but hopefully people will be able to put that in perspective and realize that Duke is one person and that he does not represent the views of the party unanimously.
Silas, is this a suburban or a southern phenomenon that we're witnessing here tonight?
I think this is an isolated phenomenon in the sense that David Duke picked out a district that he could win in.
I mean, could this just as easily happen in, say, Livonia, a white suburb of Detroit, as it would
It's happened in Illinois and it happened one time in California. When the circumstances are right and the right candidate materializes, and sometimes the opponents are not as strong as they could be, this can happen.
How now does a legislator deal with David Duke? He seems as though he'll be about as popular as a snake on the dance floor out there, at least initially Wednesday.
They will deal with him at arm's length. Naturally, a lot of people are concerned what will happen, and no one knows as of yet.
We'll check in Wednesday. Silas Lee, thank you very much. Well, the Duke-Treen race has attracted lots of attention, good and bad, since last month. That resulted in a record voter turnout in District 81 in today's runoff election. The Jefferson Parish Clerk of Court says about 78% of the registered voters in that district cast their ballots, and in fact, the interest in the race was so high that people who don't even live in the district called to ask if they could vote. The last time an election caused so much interest was the 1980 presidential race. This was the scene on Veterans Highway today. The neutral ground looked more like a battleground with loyal supporters from both sides drumming up last-minute votes for their candidates. There was some concern that the rain and cold might slow the momentum that has been building since last month. But as you can see, nothing could stop what turned out to be a classic fight to the finish. Though Jimmy Swaggart is fighting to keep his ministry alive, that struggle has led the televangelists to the Lone Star State tonight. We'll have that story later on. But next, Kenner police get together for a common cause.
Well, the weather tonight is kind of dismal, but I do see some improvement for tomorrow.
In sports, it was a tough road trip for the LSU Tigers.
News 8 New Orleans election coverage is brought to you in part by First Communications.
Our excellent selection of business telephone systems just got better. Now you can come to First Communications Company for Essex service from South Central Bell. It's perfect for businesses with more than 10 telephones. If you're in charge of the telephone service for your company, be a hero. Call me, Marcy, with First Communications Company. Let's see how much money I can save you every month. First Communications Company, when the best is all you need.
Call us at 456-4100.
Programmed fuel injection, 4 valves per cylinder, Formula One technology. If you drive simply to get from point A to point B, you'll miss the point of the Acura Integra.
See it at Superior Acura or Benson Acura.